캘리포니아 산타모니카 해변의 남쪽에 위치하고 있는 베니스 비치. 유대인 저널의 편집장인 랍과 유대인 랍비인 나오미 부부는 유대인 고유의 전통을 중히 여기며 유대인식의 텃밭을 가꾸고 가축을 기르며 살고 있다. 유대인들에게 석류는 영화와 영광을 상징하는 나무다. 이스라엘을 대표하는 과실로 집집마다 석류나무를 키우며 특별한 명절일수록 석류 요리는 빠지지 않는다.
Sukkot, in English, it's called the Festival of Booths. It always celebrates the fall harvest, the agricultural fall harvest. And at the same time, we build those booths to remind us of the time when the children of Israel were in the desert and for 40 years. And the booths remind us of that temporary life of wandering in the desert and pitching tents. And it was considered a very special time when the children of Israel felt very close to God. And so we have various rituals on Sukkot that commemorate both things, the fall harvest and the time of being in the wilderness.
It's a really fun holiday. It's a holiday where you could just be like a kid. You sit outside in a special hut and you eat a meal and talk late into the night, drink. It's probably, I think for people who celebrate it, it's one of their favorite holidays because it's just fun. It's different. It gets you out of the house and into a whole different world. So the salad has the pomegranates, which again are traditional this time of year, and we have a tree outside, so we get them from our tree. And arugula, which is also a dark green that's traditional, that grows starting around the fall and all through the winter. And then fennel, which is also a very traditional autumn vegetable. So this is a salad with fresh figs, again because they're from the season, and fresh walnuts, which also become ripe around late summer. And figs are traditional for Sukkot. So this is just really simple. It's figs tossed with walnuts, mint, and a little lemon juice. It looks a little mushy, but it's really good. So like I said, it's traditional to have stuffed vegetables. So I stuffed here a variety of vegetables. So this is stuffed cabbage, and I used a combination. I made some vegetarian because the others are vegetarian, so I made some vegetarian and some with meat and rice. And this is some squash that's stuffed, and then some cabbage that's stuffed, and also some chard from our garden. You know, Jews have been living outside their home country. They were the people of Israel was born in the land of Israel, but there had been a diaspora for thousands and thousands of years until 1948 when the state of Israel was created. So Jews adopted the foods and some of the cultures of all the different places where they were scattered, whether it was Eastern Europe or South America or the Middle East or Asia. So they picked up some of the foods of those countries, plus applied them to their own traditional holidays and their own laws about what to eat and what not to eat. These are called apple galettes, and it's actually a French recipe. But apples are really traditional at the high holidays, and these are also cranberries, which become ripe just around fall. So I made a nice quick tart out of them. And this is a tagine. So my family's from Eastern Europe, and our foods are very different than the foods of the Jews who come from in a traditional Moroccan dish. And it's chicken with lemon and olives. This is called challah, and you make it in a circle, like Naomi said, for the high holidays, because it symbolizes the whole year, the roundness of a year, the completeness of a year, and it's kind of good luck for the year to come. So I make this with a traditional recipe, except I put in some pureed pumpkin, which gives it a flavor just for the Sukkot, because of the fall festival.
But also Sukkot lasts 8 days. So every single night, every lunch, every breakfast, you wake up for breakfast and you go out into the sukkah and you eat your breakfast there. So it has this feeling of just, you really start to feel comfortable there. You make it your home.
When the holiday's over and you take it down, you miss it, because it's nice to wake up in the morning with a cup of coffee, even if it's a little cold, and sit outside. And they say you should sit outside even when it's drizzling a little bit, but when it starts to rain, you could leave.
Goats and chickens. Didn't Abraham have? No, he had a ram, didn't he, Abraham?
어느 곳에서 살든 전통을 지키고 전통 음식을 즐기는 민족인 유대인. 유대인들은 전통 음식 속에 유대인 고유의 정신이 담겨 있다고 믿고 살고 있다. 함께 모여서 음식을 나누는 것은 유대인들에게도 중요한 전통 문화이다. 가을에 추수한 곡식들을 기념하는 명절을 지내고 가족들이 함께 모여 맛있는 음식을 먹는 등 유대인은 우리 한국인과 생활 문화뿐 아니라 음식 문화까지도 많은 부분이 닮아 있다.
Just another opportunity for the families to get together and share a wonderful experience, eating all the great food, the harvest in the fall.
I love it. I love it because to me, all these Jewish traditions are all about community and about getting together with really good friends.
That the children have, these kinds of experiences to realize the richness of the tradition, of the food, of the environment, of the symbolism of everything that's around them. So I think it's a wonderful opportunity and really a blessing to sort of share it.
No matter how well off we are, that it's very easy to become, on the edge of existence. And it's a good reminder, to take care of people less fortunate than yourself.
When you come to the holidays, there's traditional foods that are passed down from generations that your group of Jews would have eaten hundreds of years ago, that your great-grandparents made, your grandparents, your mother. So a holiday is really a time to reconnect, like you said, with your traditions, with your home, even if your home was 2,000 years ago.
Yeah, and I think that nothing connects us more to the past than the smells of food that we remember from our childhood, and it just sort of brings us back home. It brings us to the memories, and every time we have a holiday, it's not just thinking about today and the future, it's also remembering that we're rooted in the past. I think for every people, there's a need to know where you come from and what keeps you rooted where you are. And that food, that tradition, those aromas, those tastes bring you back to where you come from. And it's so important to keep those traditions alive for every people, to keep the traditions that were brought to you from the earlier generations. And you could do a little twist on it, like make it a modern flavor or do something to it that makes it modern, but remember where you came from and feel that connection to the past.